Get money green, bringing knowledge worldwide.
Crystal clear, the remix. Yeah. Yeah. Crystal clear through the atmosphere. Yo, from start to finish, we keep it crystal clear.
Alright, to bring it back, it started in 1993. You know what I'm saying? My brother, he lived here in Atlanta, and he was going to school here. So my family had moved to Florida from the Bronx. So my brother, he went to high school in Florida for about a year, and then decided he wanted to move to Atlanta. So after about a year of him living in Atlanta, I went up there and I moved with him. So moving to Atlanta, it reminded us of New York. You know, I liked certain parts of the city, reminded me of the Bronx, and you know, but it was closer to Florida, where my family was. I still have family in New York, but my mom, my dad, brothers, sisters was all in Florida. And Atlanta wasn't that far. It was like a 6-hour ride back to Ocala. So, you know, me and Kirk was up there in Atlanta doing our thing. Now, Atlanta, 100% honesty, they wasn't really big on hip hop in '93. They wasn't up on it like the other states was. Even though it was still a music mecca, it didn't have the hip hop. It was real R&B at the time. You know, they had groups like SOS Band, and you know, they had groups like Keith Sweat and you know, just a lot of R&B feel. You had Jermaine Dupri with Criss Cross, and Eric Sermon had moved to Atlanta, so he was doing music here too. So it was kind of growing. What got my, you know, where I always remember Atlanta for was a group. You know, in New York you had Tribe Called Quest, you had De La Soul, you had Jungle Brothers, Queen Latifah, whole native sound. And Atlanta had a group called Y'all So Stupid that had that sound where it was kind of abstract, very sample, catchy loops, and it had that hip-hop feel to it. And it was Spearhead X at the time produced all of that. So Y'all So Stupid kind of made me feel like, okay, at least they have some lyricists in the city that was to me at the time, I think they was calling that backpack rap. You know, a lot of backpack, you know, abstract music. So I was like, all right, you know, I coming from New York, I was geared for anything. I had been writing, coming on 5 years, writing music, freestyle, songs, hooks. I was prepared for anything when it came down to music. You know, me as a kid, it was BMX, basketball, and breakdancing, and writing hip hop music. That was me as a teen. That was my whole 10 years as a teen, from 13 to 20, 7 years. I was that's what I was. It was a hip hop head. Going into my 20s, I'm here in the city, and I meet with this one crew. This is when I first got to Atlanta, and they think the crew was called 9 Milli. You know, they had an established studio, record label, and they had me and a friend of mine's, I think it was his girl at the time. She was an aspiring MC. I can't remember her name at the time, I'm sorry, but both of us had went to the meeting to meet up with 9 Milli. This is before the sleep. I was solo. I was just truly a solo MC. My homeboy Alex hadn't moved to the city yet, and I almost signed the deal with 9 Milli. It was just something about it that said, let me just wait before I sign this contract. Let me just take it home, and I'll get back in touch with y'all. And the female, spotting me not trying to sign on the spot like that, she kind of followed suit and said the same thing. Like, yo, let me, I'm going to read it too, and then we're going to get back, and then we start recording. He was real persistent that I signed with them at the time. I had recorded myself freestyling over some instrumentals, and I let him hear that, and he was like, yo, I want to sign you. So I decided to take the contract home and read it. You know, that was just instinct. I had read this book called How to Make It in the Music Business in like 11th grade, and I had said, it always told you that you never sign right away. I didn't that time, but I still got caught up later on. You know, we'll talk about that part later, but right now I didn't sign the contract. I took it home, and 9 Milli, I think I never heard from them again. I knew that at the time they was working with a dude. If y'all, just to give y'all some background, I think they ended up working with a dude called, and he's a rapper out of Atlanta at the time. He was around when we was around, and at that time I think he signed with the company 9 Mil, and I decided not to. But this is when I really got serious about MCing. You know, I was really sharpening my skills. Me, Ox, and NIC, and Joe, we used to go down to the underground, and we used to battle anybody that wanted to rap. You know, we would stay down there hours, you know, stay the whole night down there. You know, that was our thing. We was sharpening our skills. We knew we wanted to be rappers. We knew we was good, but we felt that we had to continuously rap to stay sharp. So that's what we did. And you know, we came across a lot of different MCs. Some blew up, some didn't. You know, this is the whole purpose, was to get known in the city that was birthing a lot of new MCs. You know, we felt that we had a strong claim to our fame with what we was doing at the time. And you know, you're gonna hear a lot more stories about what we did, and everything is the God's honest truth. And we're gonna try to give you some facts and some music and some timelines to back up what we're saying, because the Slee was what you call one of those groups that I felt that being a part of it, we were brothers, and we were given an opportunity to do something great, but it was a choice that came with it. And I think we as a crew, and as men, and as people that love the music, we didn't want to, from seeing what was happening to a lot of individuals, what was happening to us, we decided to kind of fall back from it to be able to continue further with it, you know. And I will explain all of that as we go on with the story. This is the legend of the Slee.